Hello and welcome everyone. This is a short skit on the importance of hand hygiene not just at the hospital but also at home. Here we have a scene that's taking place between a doctor and his patient and what follows after that. Now as the doctor prepares to see the last patient of the day for her on his roster, the patient is outside in the waiting area showcasing his symptoms, and as the doctor calls him in, the patient enters and the doctor greets him. And as the doctor prepares to take a thorough history of the patient, he is listening to what the patient has to say regarding his complaints. As the doctor prepares to examine the patient, let's just pause for a second and think what would be the scene if actually the germs are visible on the patient. There's the spread of germs that we were talking about. As the doctor finishes examining the patient, he reaches his conclusion, writes down the prescription and hands it over to the patient and bids him bye-bye. And as you can see, the doctor's hand is all stained with the infection, which you can see rising in the background. Now, as the doctor leaves to rush back home to his family, who's waiting for him to have dinner. So as you can see, the germs following the doctor, and as he meets his friend on the corridor, he meets and greets her, and he rushes back home. And he stops. He's like, did I forget something for a second? And then he realizes, oh, it's my phone, I have it right in my pocket. And he rushes back home to see his family, and that's the end of the night. This doctor does not realize what he has brought home along with him for his child and his wife. Now let's see what happens the next day. Now the next day in the OPD, the doctor is sitting and he gets a call suddenly from the lead, and the doctor seems very alarmed. So the doctor rushes to the only to find his daughter and his wife in the casualty with his daughter really sick. And as his friend, the pediatrician, comes over, she takes a look at the child. And it looks like the child is in a really bad state. And she's trying her best to kind of comfort her family. Now let's see what would be the situation if the doctor had used appropriate hand hygiene techniques in the same scenario. Now as you have the same doctor sitting, seeing the patient, waiting for the patient, the same patient should say, showcasing the symptoms. And the patient comes into the OPD, the doctor greets him, makes him sit down, takes a history, and then decides to examine him. And there goes the spread of the infections. And as the doctor finishes examining him, prepares to write down the prescription, and he hands it over to the patient, and the patient bids him bye-bye. And as he leaves, the doctor just realizes that his hands are infected. And so he uses the appropriate hand hygiene techniques, which fights off the germs. And the doctor looks at his clean hands, and he's really happy. And as he rushes back home to see his family, he meets his friend in the hallway. He greets her, and as he leaves, he stops again. Wait, did I forget something? Oh yes, I need to clean my hands. And he cleans his hands again looks at his clean hands, and he's again really happy, and he rushes back home to see his family. And they're all happy. I think there's only one message that I would like to pass on with this skit, and that is that hand hygiene is just as important as safe sex.